Hello and welcome to RealDealEV.com YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going over a Rivian R1S funky smell. So here it is, a beautiful white Rivian R1S, brand new. Customer complained about a smell from the passenger footwell area. So investigated it, everything I could clearly see from the outside, from the underneath. They did a really good job of making sure that there's not a lot of open areas on this vehicle for them to easily crawl into, any critters or anything like that. So I wanted to start by looking underneath the frunk because I know that Teslas have a good area underneath of the frunk. So I figured the Rivian did too. So I started removing the top, just like a Tesla. Basically, all this is a lot of the car is very similar to how a Tesla is laid out. Um, this top area is held on by clips, and then I work on removing the two side pieces. So what I found was this was actually put together with a Christmas tree clip. If you're not familiar with those, it's basically a clip that is jagged and goes in one way. They're not really used that frequently. I was kind of surprised to see this. Sometimes they're a one and done type of deal. This one I was able to get out fairly easily and reuse it, but you have to get a little pry bar and make sure you're using common sense. You don't want to go scratching your brand new car. So I ended up getting the pliers finally and grabbing onto it and yanking it out. And that was able to get it. And then from this point, I just slowly started pulling up on the clips because I wasn't sure what clips were underneath of it. So the one I'm working on right now was a metal clip, and then all the rest of them were plastic as I worked my way down here. And I'm just looking because I didn't want to go breaking anything on this brand new vehicle. This is where I discovered that this front piece needed to come off first. As I was lifting it up, I observed there's two little arms that go underneath the two side pieces. Everything else is held on by clips, but that was off camera. The arm is on both sides. It just slides underneath both of those side pieces. So you have to remove that front piece before you can remove the two side pieces. Now I'm just slowly pulling up on them. A decent amount of force, kind of your standard clips. I got all of them around. There's black and white ones. And then that's the metal clip that I was talking about. And then right there, that hole is where the Christmas tree clip goes. Now we're going to switch over to the other side. As you can see, you got the washer fluid reservoir. The cap is open there. And right here, my phone ends up running out of storage space. So I had to revert back. So I didn't get to show you that it was off. But I put a piece of painter's tape over that so that nothing fell in there. There was a screen over it, but just so you don't want to lose anything in there. Now I'm removing, there's 6 10mm bolts that are really long that hold the plastic frunk housing in place. Once you get those removed, those are the 6 right there. There is 2 clips that run the frunk lights. You have to disconnect those. Use a little scribe and press down on the little tab and then pull them out with your finger. They're kind of hard to reach. And then after that, you take the whole frunk out. Now it is kind of heavy and kind of long, so luckily I have long arms to be able to do this with, but if you're not tall and have long arms, it's kind of hard to maneuver it around. And so now at this point, I'm looking around, just looking for different things. This here is the cabin air filter housing. Just move that off to the side, give a little bit more access to some areas. And all I'm doing now is looking for anything that's making that smell. That's the clip there for the LED lights that run the frunk. There's a little clip right there, so it's just a little push button. Now I got a light to help see a little bit better. Now you don't really need to see, I don't find anything here, but if you have a Rivian and you're curious about what's inside of it, this is what's inside of it. So you got different things like your radiator fan, your headlight housing here, and you got your high voltage cables there with a charge port, your different DC to DC converter. What else we got in there? Coolant pump. Here's your fender well. More frame. I'm just trying to look in all the crevices, looking for what's making this smell. Got a little glimpse of the suspension sensor there, right there. AC compressor. At this point, I selected to have my dog come out and help sniff around, and he alerted on this area of the car. So I decided to start taking it apart and seeing if I could find anything. It's got one 10 millimeter bolt there. Actually, there's two 10 millimeter bolts, I'm sorry. And then the other ones are T20 Torx. Now on this plastic panel, there's a couple legs that dart over into different areas. So one of them is by my hand right there, and the other one I'm about to pull out right here. Once that's out of the way, then there's two metal clips that clip into the side of the body. And I fully expected to find something right here, and I still didn't find anything. So just looking around, there's a lot of small little areas on this car. It's all sealed up pretty well though. You can see the underbody here. Underneath of this plastic housing, there was a carbon fiber piece. Now I shipped it to the back because it was hard to tell exactly where the smell was coming from. But here's some more bolts. You got three T20 Torx screws and then two T25 Torx bolts and then a 10 millimeter. Same thing goes here, another plastic clip. This one I couldn't get without what appeared it was going to break the plastic. So I ended up getting a flat tip screwdriver and helping the clip release from the housing. You can do this for the front one too, but all I did was push down on one of the legs. Now back up to the front. I didn't find anything underneath of that rear area, and so now I'm back up to the front. At this point, I'm showing you some of the screws that I removed from the bottom side. And now up here, there is two clips. Use your clip removal pliers, take those two out. And then there's a small Torx that's already been removed. Now at this point, I was really zeroed in on this area. And I found him. There's a rat right in this area right here. I'm trying to show it to you. There he was. You can see a little bit of the hair, and he was pretty well decomposed in there. And so the only way that I figured out that I could possibly pull him out of there was with the old grabbers. So here it is. There's our friend, a little smelly friend. Hopefully YouTube allows that. I'm not sure. I have to blur it out. But I had to remove the frunk, those bottom pieces, the wheel, all that to try to gain access to something in that area. But it was a good job overall. It's a great car. Here it is next to our Model S. Kind of think that we should purchase one next. Tell us what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you need anything, head on over to realdealev.com and check us out. Thanks.